Previously.
So I doubt it, but I would love to know your real world examples of what you think tied.
Bruh.
Well, I was right. Hey everybody, Invisiblekatana here, and welcome to the long overdue episode 3 of my virtual photography series. Things have certainly changed since 2019, for all of us I'm sure, but today we're discussing why every video game should have a photo mode. Of course, before we get to the topic at hand, I do have to shamelessly plug my livestream channel, Invisiblekatana. I'm doing virtual photography live streams over there and catching up on my backlog, so join me to discuss how you get your favorite shots in games and to discuss topics about these videos between said videos. The link, of course, is in the description, but with that out of the way, let's talk about the first piece of the puzzle. Photo mode is still growing. Although photo modes have existed for much longer than you might expect, they still have a long way to go in terms of popularity. According to Wikipedia, take that as you will, Gran Turismo 4 on the PS2 is the first game to allow you to take and export pictures from a photo mode. But Metal Gear VR Missions on the PS1 technically has a photo mode where you can take pictures, you just can't export them. For me personally, Uncharted 4 was the game that introduced me to a true photo mode, and then Horizon Zero Dawn was the game that completely brought me in. Now we have Horizon 2, Alan Wake 2, The Last of Us Part 2, Cyberpunk has a 2 in it, and a bunch of other games with photo modes to dive into. And even though things have definitely expanded from the early days of Gran Turismo, there's only one element that keeps the art alive long after a game has come out: the community. With the rise of the virtual photography community, it was only a matter of time before companies started to use photo mode as a way to actually advertise their games. Cyberpunk 2077 had a photo mode trailer, and this was the actual post I made after seeing it. I felt like I was one of the few people that wasn't excited for the game, thank goodness at the time, but photo mode grabbed my attention more than anything else the game had to offer. And that sort of love for photography blended with gaming is exactly what makes the community so special. There are tons of companies supporting photo contributions, but I feel like as photographers ourselves, we keep the support going years after the game has run its course in the limelight of other gamers. Control is my favorite example of this, as both Remedy and the community celebrate using photo mode to this day, and I'm excited to see that continue throughout the rest of Remedy games with the updates Alan Wake 2 has brought, and hopefully even more updates that'll be added when Control Resonant comes out. But whether it's the community support or the company itself, there's only one factor that makes photo mode truly worthwhile: the value of art. If you hear about art, you're bound to hear that it's subjective. Every mind derives its own value from any piece out there, and video games are no exception. There are plenty of art styles in gaming, all of which have their own fans, but with photo mode, the minute details we typically glance over can be seen in the worlds we play in. I mentioned how the photo mode trailer for Cyberpunk was the only thing that caught my attention from that game, but even now it's only random photo mode posts that keep that game on my radar. The realistic look and cyberpunk setting are a great combination that allows the photo mode to flourish, but many games aren't looked at for their artistic value once the initial hype dies down. And if it wasn't loved to begin with, photo mode could genuinely be a saving grace to keep it alive in some small way. Now, there's a lot to be said about the Suicide Squad game, but none of it involves a photo mode, sadly. And once that game somehow dies off more than it already has, even the care put into the style of that game will disappear. On the other end of the bat spectrum, however, is Gotham Knights. Also not loved, but it does allow for some beautiful shots, and because of that, it's sitting right next to Cyberpunk as a game I will own solely due to the chance to have another photo mode. Even the Avengers game is relevant to me because of photo mode, and despite it being an unfortunately limited one, the game still lets me capture shots of all sorts of Marvel heroes in a ton of different costumes. Being able to appreciate these games long after the spotlight in the community is gone is one of the most underrated aspects of why every game should have a photo mode, but the value of art is why we continue to do it. We appreciate these games in a brand new way through not only our own shots, but those we find in the community. And that leads to my final point as to why every game should have a photo mode: inspiration. As subjective as art is, so is the way people become inspired. And whether it's a photo meant to invoke the cool spirit of a character, or a shot simply made to show off the world of a game, anyone can be inspired through the shared experience of the community. Video games themselves inspire people to create already, and the addition of photo modes can do so much more as people gain the ability to focus on the finer details of games they already love. And odds are, everyone watching this can understand that in some way because of how games have already inspired you. Whether it's to write, develop, act, or simply be your true self, the spark of inspiration is impossible to expect, but I know more opportunities to inspire should always be welcomed. As usual, this is all just a jumble of my personal opinions for fellow nerds to hear, but I hope you all got something good from this. And of course, I want to hear your personal opinions as well, so please let me know your thoughts on why every game should have a photo mode, or why it shouldn't if you're wild like that, and be sure to share your accounts below so people in the community can check out your work. I'm of course Invisiblekatana on everything, but Instagram will give you a streamlined look at my stuff. Like I said at the start of this video, you can also join me on my livestream channel to see me get footage for these videos, as well as my showcase and photo mode challenge videos, which will be making a return as well. Now, of course, this video has clearly been a long time in the making, so long in fact that Alan Wake 2 wasn't actually out when I originally wrote the script, but if you're finally seeing it, that means there's a lot more to come, and hopefully soon. So please, put your comments down in the comment section below, and of course, Thanks for watching.